Nice. Yeah, we're gonna be wet time we get to the bottom. This is next level.
The plan was 3 days in the Cranberry Wilderness, with most of Saturday reserved for chasing brook trout on the North Fork of the Cranberry River. Unfortunately, the trail and the weather had other plans.
I would call this wilderness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Historically, brook trout can be found from Georgia all the way to Labrador in Canada. But here in West Virginia, they sit near the southern edge of that range, which means the fish are already living near their thermal limits of tolerance. They have little margin for error.
Oh, I just heard something over that way.
You good?
Yeah.
It's like an animal.
Yeah, something went through the tree, some twigs snapping.
I heard a bit of like a growl earlier.
Well, there are definitely a lot of bears out here, and a lot of bear scat. But... yeah, I don't think this trail sees a whole lot of traffic at all. I think bears are probably the only thing that keep this thing open. Everybody most likely takes that North Fork trail down by the water. That's the way we're gonna come out, but we wanted to get a good feel for what this place has to offer.
Brook trout in West Virginia have been struggling to survive for over 200 years, especially in this area.
It's hard to believe that at one time all of this was clear cut.
Yeah.
And what they established the wilderness area in 1983.
How long ago was the clear cut?
Huh. I'm not sure. I'd have to look that one up. Turn of the century, maybe. So that was the first problem that the brook trout had, right? Because they clear cut it, exposed the streams, ruined some of the habitat. And then it took a hit later on with the acid rain from the Ohio Valley coal plants, emitting the sulfur and then coming over and dropping this sulfuric acid.
Estimates indicate that before 1930, the pH of the precipitation was above 5.3, but by the mid-20th century, the average pH had dropped to 4.2. That's roughly 8 times more acidic. Brook trout reproduction begins to become adversely affected at pHs below 5.5. So you can see how quickly populations can be affected and disappear.
Yeah, so you can see how easy it is to lose the trail. You go around a couple, you get off the trail rather quickly.
In the 40s, a storm moving in, and trail conditions we didn't expect. We were behind before the end of day one.
Yeah, it definitely got warm and then cold. And the clouds back there. I think it's getting ready to rain on us. We really want to get to that spot and set up before that happens.
You're moving it.
I am not touching it. Nice. The little microclimates are pretty amazing, right? Like just completely different than it was 5 minutes ago. Different trees, more open, drier. Yeah, we're gonna be wet time we get to the bottom. This place is so nice. This is next level. Where are you taking us? You still on trail?
That's why there was an alt route. Look.
Why didn't you take us on the alt route? Because you can't see the alt route.
Yep.
To minimize the effects of acid rain and snow, West Virginia DNR uses limestone to adjust the pH to a more suitable level for survival and population expansion of native brook trout. Helicopters, trucks, and people by foot deliver crushed limestone to over 300 miles of West Virginia streams. Trout Unlimited also partnered with West Virginia DNR on a liming program that began slowly raising the pH back into a viable range for the native brook trout. Without these liming programs and air quality regulations and communities supporting these waters, the native brook trout would disappear from this region. But that should in no way diminish the work and success created here. The Cranberry River today holds more trout per acre than any other stream in West Virginia. It's quite the recovery story. But its success is not a given. It's still fragile. And like other wild water, it will take the next generation to step up and do their part to protect it. We spent most of our Saturday making up miles, traversing blowdowns, and finding go-arounds. Not as much fishing as we had hoped for, but fishing was just the reason to go. Being there with my son, that's all that really mattered. There's a river in Labrador where the brook trout average 5 pounds. 5 pounds. Same species, same genetics, same fish. The difference isn't the fish, it's the water, and that's where this is going. On this trip, we came for trout, we got rain, sore legs, and a story.
Good job.